Hello, and happy 4th of July if you happen to live in the U.S. We are celebrating Independence Day. If you aren't, I'm still hoping that you're having a great day whenever it is that you're watching this. I'm doing a vlog today just talking about the anime that I've watched recently. Before I get started with that though, I don't normally wear a white t-shirt when I'm doing my videos. Usually I'll have like a dark shirt or something from work, but today I wanted to show off. One of my friends got to do something really cool when the E3 presentations were happening. He got to go to a theater and watch Sony's E3 presentation with people from Sony. So they were giving away some swag. They had these I Love PS shirts. So I thought that was really cool of him to get me one of those. You can see it's official here. There should be a PlayStation logo on the back. So yeah, just wanted to give a shout out. That friend sometimes watches my videos. I don't expect him to watch this one, in particular, but I really appreciated that. So thanks. And yeah, so anime I've been watching. I started up watching Urusei Yatsura again. Definitely on a Rumiko Takahashi kick here recently with the Ranma series coming out here on Blu-ray. So to go along with that, I also had made a list of anime that I still need to watch in my collection, and the whole last half of Urusei Yatsura is in that. So here we can see volume 27 and volume 28 are the ones that I watched. Now, if I keep watching these, they're going to show up, I guess, a lot in my anime I watched videos. But I guess I'll mention them each time and maybe just talk about, the episodes that I saw. So yeah, I guess the 27th volume here, these are 4 episodes each. Again, these are Animego releases. Really good stuff. They always, go out of their way to provide you with information too. A lot of times there's liner notes, or one thing I like about these is in the menu when you pick the episodes, it tells you the air date, which I think is really cool. That actually came in handy for me when I saw one of these episodes. These aired in like 1984, pretty much, and I saw this one scene where you had 2 characters that looked an awful lot like Godai and Kozue from Meizani Koku, sharing a like fountain soda or something like that. And I was like, hang on a sec. It got me wondering if this may have been airing at the same time that Meizani Koku was coming out in the manga, and if maybe that had actually been a little nod, because I almost think there was a scene like that in Meizani Koku. So I looked up the dates, and it seems like Meizani Koku was halfway through its manga run when that episode was airing on here, so that may very well be, I'm not sure. But this one was mostly like a couple of recap episodes, which were, the recap episodes are always a little bit boring for somebody who's watching the whole series, but since there's been like, I don't know, an 8-10 year maybe break here in between starting this up again, it was nice to actually just see a couple recaps. So there's one about let's see, the Video Mail of Revenge was a bunch of stuff about Ron and Lum. So those 2 characters, if you guys are familiar with the story for this at all, Lum is from outer space, and she brings a whole bunch of characters from outer space with her that end up showing up on Earth for various reasons. Kind of similar to Ranma, where Ranma's a martial artist and was training in China, and so he ends up being followed by a lot of other martial artists and a lot of other people that trained in China. So similar kind of setup. And yeah, so Ron is like Lum's childhood friend, and so we get a little recap on some of the stuff that's been happening with her, mostly their rivalry for the affections of Rei, who is a character that Lum does not like. And Sakura on my mind was, I believe her name is Sakura. It's more of kind of recap of her character. There is an episode, actually 2 episodes, sort of a continuation, where Lum's spaceship crashes and she loses her memory, and Mendo kind of gets his claws on her for a little while she just doesn't remember who she is, and that was fun too. This one had one thing to mention about these is I don't know exactly when he started, if he's been directing them all along, but Mamoru Oshii was director on at least a portion of the Urusei Yatsura series, if not all of it. And I just think it's really interesting just to kind of have had that. Just a little bit of his influence in sort of cutting his teeth on this series. I think, certainly this is Rumiko Takahashi's series, and her influence, I think, comes through the most. But this series it's a little famous too for having, I know one of the movies in particular was pretty like kind of weird and existential. So we do get this one episode of these parallel worlds. I don't know if this is a story from the manga, but it feels like something that maybe Oshii might have kind of come up with on his own. I'm just speculating there, so don't take that as fact. Though Lum kept finding other universes where Ataru was actually a nice guy, ones where he liked her, ones where all the characters' genders had swapped. So it just really funny stuff. There was another one where they're playing a rugby match, and oh gosh, it was like this double whammy of the character Ryunosuke. One of the things that's so cool about Rumiko Takahashi's stuff is that she likes playing with sort of just gender roles a lot. I mean, that's obviously in Ranma she does that a lot, but she does it a lot in Urusei Yatsura too. So it seems like something it's almost kind of really contemporary, actually. I mean, I think that people nowadays seem to really be interested in sort of like exploring gender roles differently, and just sort of like turning expectations on their heads and that kind of thing. I mean, one of the characters in this is Ryunosuke. She's a girl who was raised as a boy, basically, and so there's a whole episode in here where she loses her her chest wrap that she uses to kind of keep her chest down, and so everybody is sort of noticing that she's a girl, and I think she plays on the boys rugby team. So basically she's playing this braless, and so all of the guys are just trying to tackle her, guys on her team and everything. It's really ridiculous. And then but adding to that, then there's this spaceship shows up, but the spaceship happens to be full of tiny people that are in a spaceship that looks like a football, like a rugby ball. So it was a really fun episode. There was even a little reference to Macross in it, that they mentioned protoculture. It's such a fun show. I'm really enjoying getting into this. This is from, like I said, from the mid '80s. Just a wonderful thing. So I'm going to be watching a lot more of that. But the other thing that I managed to finish recently was speaking of Rumiko Takahashi and Ranma 1/2, the second season of Ranma on Blu-ray here. I'm very excited that the release schedule for these seems to be really appropriate. It looks like they're going to be coming out with one of these every few months. So I think this is something I'll be able to keep up with. I'll be able to watch them all as they come out, and it's just such a fun show. I know I've had the first 2 seasons before, but honestly I wasn't sure how much of second season I'd seen. But after watching this, I'm pretty sure I'd seen the whole thing previously. But that's part of what was fun, was just rediscovering this and going, oh yeah, I kind of remember that. And you see a lot of fun characters show up in this season. You get Ukyo actually shows up at the end of the season, which I didn't even think she'd be here until maybe season 3. So that was cool. You had Moose shows up, and it's just more fun Ranma hijinks. This has the episodes where Ryoga learns Bakusai Tenketsu, I believe it is, his rock smashing move, and it's just it's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm not really talking about this as if you guys don't know what Ranma 1/2 is, but I guess that's just kind of got to be the case for the second season. If you guys want to hear more about it, hopefully I talked more about the premise of the show in the video where I picked up or watched the first box set. But anyway, just having so much fun with that. I can't wait to get the rest of them, and I'm dedicating myself to purchasing this entire series. You guys got to hold me to this. There's no way I'm getting through however long it is, the next year or year and a half they take to bring this all out, without getting them all. And the last one that I watched is this is something that I took a chance on when I picked it up. Didn't really know anything about, and I really ended up enjoying it. Yamamoto Yohko. This is Starship Girl, Yamamoto Yohko. And I had said before this was a Right Stuff release. They release stuff under the Nozomi brand now, but you know, I always love, like, it seems like the things that they release are just really good, kind of hand-picked things that they chose with a lot of like care and love as anime fans of things that you know, that they really care about being released in the West, and maybe our tastes just coincide. I liked this quite a lot. I would call this distinctly above average, and it's based on a manga series, but I think I read it's also based on a book. Maybe I'll put an annotation just to confirm or deny that, because I'm pretty sure that's the case. And I don't know, it's, you know, there was one scene in this that was pretty melodramatic, like one episode, but it just reminded me of a lot of things, like, good about the 90s. I guess, you know, the 90s is when I was first watching anime, and I'm really enjoying kind of watching a lot of stuff from the 80s, and maybe even the late 70s, just at this moment in time. But you know, when I started watching in kind of the mid-90s and the late 90s, I was just, you know, I was watching new stuff was from the 90s, and, you know, slightly older stuff was from the 80s, but it was all anime as far as I was concerned. And really, you know, we were getting a lot of stuff that was older kind of coming out here just for the first time. So they'd all sort of blended together. So basically the series is about a group of girls who compete in the future in what essentially amounts to war games to determine conflicts between different cultures. So, you know, when you first start off, you kind of think that people are having a real space battle, but something about it clues you into the fact that, you know, just the way the characters are behaving and stuff, it seems more like kind of a video game or something. And, you know, as the series goes on, it'll explain a little bit more about sort of, you know, what the stakes are for the pilots and things like that. I don't really know why they're all girls other than, you know, it's anime and hey, why not? But basically this guy creates a time machine and travels back in time 1,000 years to scout these 4 high school girls to pilot these planes in the future to resolve these conflicts. And you know, it's interesting, we sort of see the team of 3 girls established already, and then they go back and they pick out Yamamoto Yohko in particular. I don't really know why they set it up that way, but Yohko is really the main character of the series, and she's kind of like the ace pilot. And, you know, it's not even so much that this is really action-oriented or anything. I think the animation's really nice in this, just sort of the visual style of it. I really like, you know, the designs and just the feeling of the animation, but I think it's mostly a comedy, and it's mostly it's kind of character based. I mean, these characters aren't really hitting me over the head, but just, you know, the overall effect, I think, of the quality of everything that went into this, it's a little bit more than the sum of its parts. Somehow when I finish it up, I'm just like, that was really enjoyable. It was 6 episodes on here, 6 OAVs, and it was a pleasure to watch them all. So I really had fun with this. I come to find out there is a TV series based on this, which hasn't come out here. This is just the 6-part OAV series. So I'm actually pretty interested in checking out the TV series if I can get my hands on it, you know, in Japanese language somehow. I kind of want to see that one. Another thing that's nice about this is the voice acting. Megumi Hayashibara does a character in this. A lot of familiar sounding voices to me. The kind of the main male character, the guy that made the time machine and scouted the girls, and he basically is their like commander. It didn't take me too long. I was like, this sounds like someone from Slayers, and it turns out to be Gowry's voice actor, so it's really fun to hear him in that role. And also, one of the other girls, I didn't notice it until almost the end of the series, and I'm like, hang on a sec, I know that voice. It's the voice actress for Asuka from Evangelion, so a lot of good voice talent in this too, so just a very fun show. I'm really glad that I watched that. So a lot of good stuff this time. I mean, you can't really go wrong with Rumiko Takahashi, and Starship Girl Yamamoto Yohko was a pleasant surprise. So that's the anime that I watched. I'm gonna be coming up here with some more videos of some pickups. That'll probably be next, and hopefully some Dreamcast pickups with gameplay. So I hope you're looking forward to that, and I hope you'll join me again for more videos. Thanks for watching.